my name is Janneke Kammoot. I work as an adoption consultant at Silverside. Mainly I support the end users to use the collaboration solution in the most optimal way.
And I'm Michael Sampson from the Michael Sampson company in New Zealand. I work with end user organisations around making collaboration work with a focus on culture, governance and adoption.
So Michael, first of all, thank you for being here in Gouda. It was probably quite a trip from New Zealand to the Netherlands.
Yes,
yeah,
it was.
Tell me something.
Yes, so I left home at about 12 o'clock on a Friday, and then about 40 hours later got to my hotel in London.
Okay.
So it's a bit of a trip. There's a flight up in New Zealand and then about a 12-hour flight to LA, and then after staying there for a few hours, about a 10-hour flight to London, and getting through customs and the trains and all of those sort of things. Yeah, it's a bit more time.
So quite a bit effort to be here. Can you maybe tell me something about your background and how you entered the world of collaboration?
So a focus on collaboration has been the emphasis of my entire professional career. Back in the early 90s, after doing an undergraduate degree, I then did a Master of Commerce at a New Zealand university, looking at how consulting firms could enhance the delivery of consulting services through new tools like, at that time, voicemail and audio conferencing and all those things that we take for granted now. And really coming from that, as I joined the workforce in a strategy role for a telecommunications firm, and then started to read and learn about what's going on in the world of messaging and collaboration and so on, it's really just built from there. Great to have you here. So we've got a very, very full day. Roland almost died when he saw how long the workbook was and asked if I really was serious about 400 slides or so, but okay, no problem, we'll do it. So in getting going today, there's really four main things that I want to talk about today and orient this session around. So there's 4 E's.
Your adoption model consists out of 4 layers.
Yes.
Can you maybe tell me something in a few sentences about each phase?
Sure. So the adoption work that I've done really came from a concern that organisations were spending all this money on new technology, but they weren't getting any value from that. And so the adoption book and the resources and so on have all been about trying to give people tools that they can use for improving adoption. So the adoption framework that you've talked about is made up of 4 stages. Stage 1 is about winning attention. Why should someone be interested in what's now on offer? Stage 2 is about cultivating the basic concepts. What are the key ideas in the new technology, the new tool, the new approach that introduce a benefit to the organisation? Stage 3 is what I call enlivening applicability. So looking for a particular person or a team or a group, how can the use of new tools, new approaches introduce benefits and improve the way that they get work done? And then stage 4 is called making it real, which is about making it part of the way that work gets done in an organisation.
As an ad, it's Fanta. She told us she had a very good tip. She wants to share it with us because she said, brother, the champion always wants to tell the story of the business, but it's also very good to give the champion something back. So listen to the champion, you know. So most of the time it's one-way traffic.
Right.
You shouldn't feel as if it's just that they're there to tell the story.
Yes.
The champions should get something in return, in this case, we encourage providing information and having the stories
Right.
You notice teamwork.
Can you maybe tell me something about 1 or 2 user cases
Sure.
where you really implemented all the 4 phases?
So let me give you an example that I really like out of stage 1, winning attention. So in there, one of the strategies is called executive support. And the focus of that strategy is where executives aren't talking about it, just saying it's important but then not doing anything, but they're actually very involved in modelling the change that they want to see happening in the organisation and in the team and groups. One of the examples that I heard of that was of a colleague who joined a consulting firm and was asked to work on a request for proposal, and he created the request for proposal, saved it, and then went into a meeting with the CEO. And the CEO up on the wall in the meeting room has the SharePoint team site with all of the documents in there. And during the meeting he's looking for this document and says, "I can't see your document in here, where is it?" And my colleague said, "Well, it's not finished yet, it's back on my desktop." And the CEO said, "We're going to stop this meeting now. You go back to your desktop, stick it up in the SharePoint team site, and when you come back, we'll continue the meeting."
Well,
And that kind of executive modelling of that this is real, that it's important enough for me as an executive to do something, is what I'm trying to get to with that executive support strategy. It's very effective for winning attention among people that may not think it's a real or valid thing to be doing.
yeah, it makes it really real, really serious.
Yes, absolutely.
While changing the order on how you're communicating, on how you're managing projects, and how you're in fact getting all those people with you. What we've done for this methodology is put in a blend concept. The blend concept is a creative model which I will explain upcoming in a minute. It consists of different groups like Michael Sampson, but also, for example, David Allen, getting things down, and all kinds of international concepts. Hello, my name is Roland Riesel, founder of Silverside 15 years ago, and currently responsible as a director for research and development.
Why this heavy focus on research?
Well, as a consulting firm, normally you always try to think what's best for the specific customer case. But what we have seen with our 120 customers in the last 50 years, they all have the same problem. They all have a problem of user adoption of the change they have implemented. And what we see is you can try to solve it per customer case. That's really a heavy project. So that's why we have spent a few years ago all our resources on getting a customer independent approach to software implementation. And it's called 3G.